Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Yep, call me Donut. 0 for 2 this weekend. God dog it. That's why I don't go to Vegas and gamble. I go to Vegas for other reasons. If I go there and gamble, all I do is help build more casinos and hotels and resorts. Damn it. Always gambling with my heart instead of my mind. I knew damn well the way it goes, as the script is written, it was going to be Kansas City and San Francisco. It's just too much. In Vegas, we're going to have Kansas City and San Francisco. But damn it, I thought they were going to flip it and have Baltimore and Detroit out there and have them big players, them big hats, them Frank Whites out there. But nah, we got what we expected. It's all good. Let's get into it right now. Let's start off with that Baltimore Ravens Kansas City Chiefs game where Lamar Jackson, now, he had his post-game press conference, thanked the entire team, loved all three phases of the game throughout the year, but they just came up short this year. He said all the things you want your leader to say, despite it not being genuine. He can't be genuine in that moment, can't tell you how bad it hurts, and he can't tell you how bad it feels, and he can't blame himself fully, and he can't blame others. You ever been there? You ever been the focus of all the attention where you're like, damn, I got to keep my composure. I got to speak for all instead of just speak to it and speak about it. So he did all that, and I'm not going to bore y'all with that sound because y'all know how that goes down. I actually want to get into some other angles of this because I had something perplexing me before the game, and I was hoping it didn't come to fruition, but it did. Lamar Jackson lost that game because he's black. Lamar Jackson lost that game because he's black and mobile. Lamar Jackson lost that game because his offensive coordinator got too cute because he's got a quarterback that's black and mobile. I'm going to tell y'all, I swear to y'all, these are the things I need to write down on a piece of paper and then put them in my pocket and date it and, get it all hooked up, right? And then just wait for it to happen and say, told you. You don't believe me? Oh, yeah, I got it done. Right here. It's notarized. I swear I was like, they going to get too cute and watch what happened. Listen to Rex Ryan talk about the game plan and talk about the Ravens and their loss.
This is the stupidest game plan I've ever seen. And you know what, Greg Roman, every single person needs to apologize to you because you got blamed for everything about what was wrong in Baltimore. And it wasn't you because this new guy that we praised the hell out of.
Todd Monken.
Yeah, Todd Monken. By the way,
with the new guy.
You don't have Tom Brady. Do you realize your quarterback is Lamar Jackson, not Tom Brady? What in the hell are you doing dropping back 82% of the time? This is a team that led the NFL in rushing attempts. They had 6 whopping rushing attempts to the running backs. What the hell are you doing?
Okay.
Rex nailed it right there. This goes way back. I had a conversation with Donovan McNabb years ago. I used to play against McNabb when I was with Dallas and obviously in the league at the same time. But with Dallas in particular, we had to play him twice a year. And I remember the slow decline of Donovan McNabb. Now, McNabb was insane, like Hall of Fame tracking. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. Coming up short, he went to the Super Bowl the one time with T.O. when he was hurt, and they still balled out but came up short. Other than that, NFC Championship game, 5 in a row? Like he pulled a Patrick Mahomes, except Patrick Mahomes has won a couple of Super Bowls. But right there underneath him, right? Somewhere between where Lamar Jackson is and Patrick Mahomes of that era was a Donovan McNabb. Made it to a Super Bowl, always in the championship game. McNabb was a Hall of Famer. And then all of a sudden I started looking and squinting. I was like, he ain't the same right now. And you know what it was? He was trying to prove to everyone else that he was a pure pocket passer. Now, he's not the first. And he's not only that because he's black and mobile, but there is a certain guilt. There's a certain justification going on when you're black and mobile. Let's take it through all of the history. When I first got witness and privy to this was Steve Young. Yep, Steve Young being a mobile quarterback and how they were whipping him, like telling him, stop running the ball. Like literally back in those days, very direct. Stop running the football as a quarterback. Throw it. Now, to justify throwing the football as we see now in today's passing game, the fastest thing on the football field is the football. So it's smart to throw it versus run it. the path of least resistance is throwing it, not running it. All that's true, except when you're a defender and you got a quarterback that can do both. When they can do both, they got us off balance. Which one's coming? It's just like a running back. Barry Sanders was the best running back ever. It's because he was so shifty. I'm going this way. Oh, I'm over here. And you're like, damn, I thought he was over here. So you got to commit almost, right? And when you commit, a lot of times you're guessing, and then you're going to come up short. Steve Young was the first one, but he's white, right? So Steve Young was able to fight it in a different respect, not because of color, because he had to wait his opportunity. And when he got his opportunity, they already said to him, we told you to stop running. He had changed it as a backup. He had changed it from the USFL. Y'all got to follow me here. And then he got out there and will only run when deemed necessary, right? But he was Steve Young without the same connotation. Meanwhile, there's a Randall Cunningham going on right there. They were just like, whatever, right? That turns into Michael Vick, et cetera. It just keeps going, right? Cam Newton, we get it. Steve Young had to deal with it, but he didn't have the guilt associated with it. Watch what happens. So I was talking to McNabb. I was like, why are you changing it up? Why you on purpose trying to throw the ball? You on purpose trying to just be a pure pocket passer? There are even comments out there of Adam McNabb addressing this. I was like, come on, dog. I was like, dog, every time I play against you, when y'all know you're going to run or you threatening to run, it's a problem. I get it. It's not always by design, but it's a problem by result. He tried to do it that way. Okay. You fast forward, we've seen this pop his head up before, right? You've heard quarterbacks talk about this, right? RG3 in his short stint, he talked about it. All these quarterbacks come out, no, I could throw. I'm going to show you I could throw. And it was an extra intention on throwing it when they were black and mobile. I caught it every time. I was like, here we go again. Another quarterback trying to prove something to everybody else when all you got to do is get the results. Yesterday, coming off of Greg Roman all those years, and all we do is run the football, and then we come up short when it matters. So yesterday, they decided to go out there and address both of these situations. The running too much in big games and not winning, silly. And they try to address Lamar Jackson, I think, in terms of how he's perceived. Because nothing else would justify them going back and throwing it 82% of the time. Lamar Jackson, and even when he was running, admitted, nobody thought I was going to come on today and have this angle, right? Admitted you were sitting there watching this game like, dog, why isn't he running more? And why aren't they running more? And when he's running, why he ain't going for broke? That one time when he threw it, they batted it and he caught it again. I thought he had another gear in him. And look, he may have just, he running safer now. He running smarter now. Great. But dog, be reckless too, because that's what's going to kill the opposition. That's what's going to torch a defense. I watched that game yesterday, man, they being too cute. And sometimes that happens. Y'all been there before where you're like, oh, I'm going to show them. As soon as you start saying stuff like, oh, I'm going to show them, instead of no, I'm just going to win. My wife and I had a conversation. She wanted something done. I did it. And then she flipped it and moved the goalpost but you didn't really want to do it. You just did it. And I was like, baby, this is how you become psychotic in this world. If you want something done and it gets done, that's it. It's over. No. Why you do it? Why they do it? Why you all? That is the never-ending story to psychosis. To try and figure out people's intentions, why they really did it. Oh, you weren't all into that. Shut this. So, when you're Lamar Jackson, just win, baby. Al Davis. Not how you win. Did you see Lamar threw the ball so much and they won? I'm going to show them. And I don't know if it was Lamar fully, but it certainly was the scheme. And they tried to show us. Well, guess what happened? Your ass got shown the door. They lost because of scheme, like Rex Ryan said. Now, Emmanuel Acho said something interesting. And he was ranking the quarterbacks, and in his ranking, he had Lamar Jackson number 4, anticipating or thinking if he would have won yesterday, he would have moved up to number 2. I call BS, but I love what he said, and I love how he broke it down. Take a listen.
Lamar closes the gap if he beats Mahomes. And for me, it's this. Lamar is currently my 4th best quarterback in football. He's behind Joe Burrow. He's behind Josh Allen. Reason he's behind Joe Burrow and behind Josh Allen, because I'm factoring in talent plus accomplishment. Talent plus accomplishment. Right. Joe Burrow has accomplished more collectively. He's taken his team to the Super Bowl. Yeah. But if Lamar beats Pat, he would have done everything Burrow has done, plus won 2 MVPs. So now, Burrow, anything you have done, Lamar Jackson, have done, plus won 2 MVPs. Josh Allen, I've done everything you've done and some. 2 MVPs plus beat Pat. You ain't beating Pat, you ain't got no MVPs. So Lamar would, of course, in my mind, close the gap, because now there is nobody outside of Pat who can have an argument that they're better than Lamar. Right now, Burrow can make an argument. Right now, maybe Josh can make an argument. But if Lamar has 2 MVPs plus gone to the Super Bowl, nobody can make the argument that you're better than me except for Pat. That's where I stand.
Okay, Acho, you're right. And you wrong. He's right, because logically you would think that's how it would go. But real, let's ask, who out there would bet, would bank, would take Lamar Jackson as the number 2 quarterback in the NFL? Go. You have in your draft all quarterbacks. I think everybody picking Patrick Mahomes number 1. Who are you picking number 2? If he would have won yesterday, would you have picked Lamar Jackson? Don't lie. Nope. And what is that? Like Josh Allen, he would have more than that. All right, but he still doesn't have it, but we living in a hypothetical, but let's talk through it. I like Joe Burrow. I like Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen more than Joe Burrow. Like, if we talking for real, I'm picking Patrick Mahomes because I just think it's disgusting for me or anybody else to second guess him. And I've been there before, and I'm not doing it ever again. He just won. He the one. Then after that, by talent, by like, yo, you running my team, I would say Josh Allen. But then Lamar Jackson, I would take before Joe Burrow. But then even taking Joe Burrow at 4, I feel more comfortable than I did with Lamar at 3. I'm good with Josh at 2. And a matter of fact, let me stop this right now. I'm taking Justin Herbert, dare I say, before Lamar. I'm taking Herbert 3. Let's go. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. I know that order doesn't make sense to you, because it don't make sense to me. And the one I got the most trepidation, hesitation, anxiety over is the future 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. Is it because he hasn't matched perfectly with his system? Is it because we see that in big moments it does come up a little short, whether it's by system or by performance? I just saw a governor on Lamar Jackson yesterday, for all y'all who got golf carts out there, right? I saw a guy with his foot on the gas and a little bit on the brake. I saw a system handicapping them or undercutting them a little bit. I just saw somebody not at full throttle yesterday. And I don't know if it's the system, because it's a new system. So I can't keep blaming the system. Selling like brother man up here. It's the system, my brother. I'm like, is it the system? Is it Lamar in these moments? Or is it just, hey, there's something called kryptonite named Patrick Mahomes that is making everybody look like this? Only Joe Burrow and only Tom Brady has beat that dude in the playoffs. And Burrow didn't even win a championship for it. So, that's my 5. I want to hear y'all in the comments. Beat up your 5. Tell me what you think of what Acho said. I like what Acho said. It makes so much sense, and then you're just like, yeah, but I'm not going to do it. You ever had one of those pitch meetings? It sounded great. You guys are both shaking head. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, that will really work. That's effective. Yeah. So you're on board? We're partners? Nah. That's how Acho got me. Acho got me going like, oh, yeah, okay, dog. I feel you. Oh, yeah. Nah, I ain't drafted. And why is that? And I love Lamar Jackson. I root for 5 teams. 4 of them I played for, damn it. 4 of them employed me. The 5th one, I never set foot on their grounds. And it's the Baltimore Ravens. And I root for them because I root for Lamar Jackson. I just saw yesterday, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. It was some governor or something. Something was restricting my man. Help me figure that out. Beat it up in the comments. Let's talk through that. Woo. All right. And do y'all believe he going to ever? Nah, of course. He going to finish the job next year? it's so hard to get there, let alone to do it when you get there. Speaking of how hard it is when you get there, Dan Campbell, my former teammate, my dog, Dan Campbell, who actually played just like he coaches, all in, brother. He talked about how hard it was. He talked about his fourth quarter decisions. Let's just listen to Dan Campbell rip about how yesterday felt.
Yeah, I just felt really good about us converting and getting our momentum and not letting them play long ball. They were bleeding the clock out. That's what they do. And I wanted to get the upper hand back, and it's easy hindsight, and I get it, I get that. But I don't regret those decisions, and that's hard. It's hard because, we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out, but I don't. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man. But, we just didn't work out.
Let me say this. Dan Campbell. Ha! That's how he got there. Dan Campbell. Ha! That's how they sent him home. And I ain't mad at him. And I know some people are going to criticize and some people are going to like, yeah, aggressive, but adjust your aggression. But we adjust our aggression in a safe way that would have not been risky enough to reward them to get them to this place in the first place. Think about that. Like, not just yesterday. It's 7 minutes to go. You're down, your field goal range. Come on. Oh, you could have kicked another field goal earlier in the game and make it a 3-score game. Like, all of that sounds great. But how did it sound when he was going forward to get them here in the first place? He was making y'all believers. That means he went against your conventional, conventional thought and wisdom, right? Oh, I'm parched. I'm over here thinking about my Music City Miracle, getting choked up. So he made us believe in his way. And like anybody who believes, raise your hand. It comes with doubt. It comes with doubt. And yesterday, we were doubting. Look, my homegirl was over here with everybody, but she was really rooting for Detroit. And I kept saying, it ain't going to be easy. They up 17 at the half. She giggling. We playing pickleball. She laughing. Moretta's just talking crazy. I'm like, it ain't going to be easy. It ain't. I said, they're not going down without a fight. Watch this. And then here you go. 10-3 touchdown. I was like, I told you. Dan Campbell, do you adjust? Do you get scared? Do you tug at the seatbelt that you already were wearing because you're like, oh, or do you just keep riding? Nah, we good. How you driving? How you rolling? Because Dan Campbell said, this is how I got here, homie. One hand on the wheel. I ain't come here 10-2. I ain't come here like that. So why am I going to now take my hand off the wheel and 10-2 and put them both there? Why? And I like that he owned it, but I also like that was the right thing because, golly, he dropped the pass. Dude dropped the ball. If you convert one of those, let alone both, what are we talking about now? But people always go to, but you didn't, because people go to the results. I swear, scared people or people who are not participating always read the results. But you know from participating, you got to read the opportunity. I can't read the results, dog. It's Jonathan Ogden right here. I got to work this spin move right now and get this sack. What? And tried it. Bow, pancakes. You shouldn't have tried the spin move. Really? That's what you thought? That's what you came up with after seeing me fail? Okay, that's interesting. All I know is from playing ball and living life, it got to be a pointy, sharp sword. It got to be a risk. It got to pierce through. It got to cut through whatever you're doing. Because if not, all that playing is safe is playing is sorry. And usually that's how you end up. Nothing's guaranteed, risky or safe. But there are greater rewards if you go all in, as we know. So Respect for them for that long road. Look, I ain't think Detroit was gonna win. I bet on them. I was rooting for. It's just, like I told y'all before. I was like, it feels like they have gone far enough. Like Cinderella had to wake up, put her slipper on, whatever the hell. I ain't watching any of those Disney movies growing up. I had practice, dog. I had a lot of practice. But the point is, Dan Campbell fueled them to this point. And also, they ran out of gas by going that same way. You master gas, as you know, sooner or later, you're going to have to refuel because you're going to run out of it. So what y'all think of Detroit yesterday, man? Would y'all call the game like Dan Campbell? Or would y'all now, since y'all know hindsight 2020, done seen the results, would sit there and switch it up, flip it up? What would you do? I like what Dan did. I like what he did. All right, here's something that a lot of people don't like. What Whitlock does. Jason Whitlock actually addressed, let me talk in y'all world. Why he such a hater? You know what I mean? Let me say, why you always hating? And I knew this about Whitlock, and I'm glad he said something about it, and he's also said more about it other times. But basically, Jason Whitlock is looking at everybody out there that pokes their head up and trying to slay them, trying to hit them with that stray. So let's listen to him talk about why he is who he is.
All the way throughout my career, I've been criticizing the media because I've always thought the media chose to favor the powerful over the sports fan. They want you to think, man, all Whitlock does is criticize black people. Therefore, he's racist, you should dismiss him. He's just doing the bidding of white conservatives. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been doing this since 1992. Picking fights, feuds, beefs with media since 1992.
Okay. I'm a fan of the spirit of what he's talking about because I know what he's talking about. I used to get into most beefs with co-hosts and workers in the industry because of likability. Oh, that's your homeboy? Cool. We're going to still talk about him, right? Yeah. You're going to still keep it 100, right? You're not? Oh, why are we talking about him then? Okay. Likability. Oh, everybody's feeling this, so let me pander and let me say it too. Oh, everybody's hating on this, so let me jump on them too, because this is the time to do it, right? I was like, damn, I ain't never seen so many puppets in my life. So, because I'm built differently than Jason Whitlock in terms of mentality and experience, it doesn't come out the same. But I feel him on this one. I feel him on this one because with likability, it allows those with megaphones in the media to literally convince the masses if somebody's accepted or not, right? Just likable, right? Like, oh, we rock with you. Oh, we don't rock with you. You don't rock with me. Really? Why you don't rock with me? And if you start to, just like any beef in your life, most of them, if you really talk through it, you'll be like, why are we really fighting? If you watch who people don't like in the media, you start to realize why we don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, what they really do? Think about it. Think about narratives that just get exaggerated. And then think about the core of it and like, where'd that come from? Why am I thinking that? And it happens to all of us, right? This is why mass media is so important, because we ain't got time for all the minor details of life. We all sit there in one full day with 24 hours. Everybody, the richest, the poorest, the most busy, the laziest, all of us, most educated, dumbest, we all got 24 hours. I ain't got time for, so I will borrow and lean into mass media for information. At least I used to. But you get the point. Used to watch the local news, then I used to watch CNN, then I used to watch Fox News, then I used to watch them all. Then I'm like, wait a minute, now I gotta watch you, and I gotta watch CNN over here, MSNBC in here, and then Fox News to just get one information story, one story? Nah, too much time, right? So now I can't even borrow from them. I go independent media. I go to people I trust. Point is, they have a huge responsibility that not only have they dropped, they don't care. Because they like, dog, as long as these people riding with us, we drive them anywhere. We go anywhere. So the fuel of what Whitlock is saying is, oh, I'm looking at cats in the sports media business, and because since they like somebody, they're going to exaggerate how good they are, or since they don't like somebody, they're going to exaggerate how bad they are. I'm here to let you know I see what you're doing. Now, he does it in a way that has now been labeled as, nah, you just don't like black players. You go extra hard, extra saucy on the black players. I will always push back on that to this degree. If you're talking major sports in America, you're talking football and basketball. You're going to be talking about a lot of black people. A lot of brothers. That's all I got to say about that. The rest, the extra hot sauce, I know Whitlock puts extra hot sauce on every sports take he has. I get it. I don't do that, but that's what he does. But the point is, the spirit of what he talking about, the meat and potatoes of what he talking about, raise your hand if you're down with that. Man, these cats be out here set tripping, so it's good. Somebody out there got them on a scope just to make sure they understand it. So I differ from him just in how it comes out. Because it's funny, I gave a book to the receptionist at my children's school last week. Gave her a book. She's such the sweetest lady in the world, right? I just gave her a book just out of nowhere. Just, hey, here you go. And she was like, oh, she said she started reading it. She's like, damn, you had it tough. And I was like, yeah. I said, you now get why I'm always so happy and smiling. And I'm going to tell y'all, the reason I'm happy is, one, it's a choice, like everything. But two, dog, every time I hear something bad or presented with something bad right now, I immediately reflect on my experience and adversity I had to go through growing up. And I immediately smile right now, literally laugh at my pain, smile. You want to know why? Because it ain't going to be harder than that. You can't beat that team. That's the 72 Dolphins I grew up in. I balled against them. This ain't nothing. This ain't it. So I just want y'all to have that grand perspective in terms of things you go through. And also, like Whitlock is doing, make sure whatever you're digesting, you're also scrutinizing it, right? While you chew your food, you don't just swallow your food whole like, oh, media, thank you. Okay, that was smart. That was the... Chew on it. Food for thought. Break it down. Take your time. And that's it. It's a lot of pauses in there. I can see Cam and Mace running with that part right there. Oh, and then swallow it. Oh. So point being, y'all with Whitlock on what he's up to in his spirit? Or are you kind of like, that sounds like a great justification of some bullshit that your ass just making up. You really like to do it. You really like to hate. All right, y'all. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, we're going to fuck up some comments, hit you with a Wileyism. Peace. We're going to get up out of here. That's next on, damn, where my muscles go? On Never Shut Up, on Brinks TV and Reach TV. I got that round right now. I need to drop about 20. I ain't lying. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Loving you guys out there. Brinks TV, $1,000. Free Brinks bucks if you log on. Free account, too. But it ain't going to be free to us because we're going to give you 1,000 Brinks bucks. So make sure you go to Brinks.tv. Also, WileyWins.com. Yeah, I guess y'all beat me last week because I went 0 for 2. We got to have Steve back, man. We're going to have Steve Sevick back and talk to him. I owe him dinner, I guess. Did I bet him dinner? He bet me dinner if he won. No, if he lost, he was going to take me to dinner. I ain't say if I lost, I'm taking. I don't gamble. So we have Steve on. We'll settle that bet. Make sure you go to WileyWins.com and beat me. I guess it's kind of easy to do. And last but not least, my heart right here. Oh, I just had a great call with PBS talking about some potential work we're going to do together in terms of programming. Imagine Project Transition on PBS. That's childhood dream stuff right there. So make sure you support us in all the efforts as we always continue. We have a Champions of Change program this weekend. I will be mentoring. I will be coaching the little itty bitties. Make sure you guys support it. Everything that we do is supported by you. Go to projecttransition.org, log on, and make sure you leave a donation. Recurring donors, you know who you are. You're on our donor wall. We love you as partners. You guys get books as well. Okay, focus some comments here. We were talking about Cam Newton. And this commenter said 30th worst defense would be the third best. Nah, you got to know how it goes. When you're at the bottom, 30th ranked, you're not third best. You're 30th best. It's 1 through 32. I'm confused. Yeah, I know. I hope I just explained it. Quarterback stats are inflated these days. If anyone should know the game is different and stats don't translate to W, you would think a former player will understand that. Oh, you taking a shot at me? I don't care if stats are inflated. They're uniform. So they're inflated compared to somebody who played in the 80s. We ain't playing in the 80s no more, bro. So they inflated, but they're inflated all across the board. So I can use these stats against these players. That ain't hard, is it? So, look, number one rusher, number one passer doesn't mean you number one team, right? Number one Super Bowl champion. I ain't stupid. But I do know if you're number one in any category in the league, you are balling. Y'all gotta stop thinking that every champion means they're the best, and stop thinking that every best is gonna be the champion. It's not hard. There are two categories. That's why there's a Hall of Fame, and that's why there are Super Bowl champions. And they all ain't the same. And I'd rather be a Hall of Famer than a Super Bowl champion. Now, I take both, and most of the time, if you are a Hall of Famer, you're going to get yourself into that Super Bowl, maybe a championship. But there are the Dan Marinos, didn't win it. There are the Barry Sanders, didn't win it, etc. Eric Dickerson, oh, come on, man. Stop playing with me, people. Y'all know the game. Cam Newton did wonders. He was refreshing to the NFL. Yes, he was. But sadly, haters displeased with his energetic personality. Cam and Superman. We just talked about Jason Whitlock. We just talked about how likability. That's why Whitlock goes at cats. I don't know his stance on Cam Newton, but I do know that Cam Newton was deemed unlikable by the media. Cam Newton, they greenlit, hey, light his ass up. Media, go get Cam Newton. It's all good. Ain't nobody. And I was like, what? Cam Newton? It's some fan out there, some lady, I'm sorry, your name slips me. She loves me because I defended Cam Newton. I was like, I'm not doing it for the props, but she was like, he doesn't get enough love. And I was like, wow. And so it was open season on Cam Newton during his career. It was crazy. Cam Newton gets all 12 plus flowers from me. The whole city of Charlotte will agree. Oh, you're rapping bars. He was a beast, and even with him not being able to push the ball down the field, he is still better than some of these guys. He can still throw farther than Chad Pennington could. I tell you that much. Silly. All right, let's talk about Acho. Doesn't just sound like a guy that didn't play. Some of his takes got me wondering if he's ever watched football. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure some of my takes too. Like, I thought that I didn't think that the Chiefs had a dynasty. Well, going to 5 now, and if they win 3 of 5, golly. Shut up, Wiley. You nailed it about Acho's infatuation with Justin. It's always unnecessary and forced. Yeah, it's forced. That's what I hate, forced. Even Joy in them eye roll when he starts that shit. But then they hop on board within seconds. They afraid. Or like you said, it's just about getting paid. Justin Herbert is one of the most likable people in the league and one of the most talented. Thanks for the real talk. Justin Herbert is the homie. Like, in terms of, like, dude next door kind of cool. Like that. And so, look, I'll show the homie too. But at the same time, right is right. And if you ain't going to be my homie because I call you out because you're wrong, well, bye. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be your homie on some fake pretense. Nah, dog. And this force, it's corny, it's forced, And it's rewarding, which is the weirdest play because he's going to keep doing it because culture is what's rewarded. They pay people to do stupid stuff like that. I just think it's beyond corny. And y'all just check the receipts. When I disagree with somebody, working with them or not, I'm like, dog, that's weak. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to mess up your bread. I ain't doing none of that. I'm just saying, dog, like, how do you go to bed knowing you making up stuff? Weird. For anyone that watches the Chargers understands that Herbert wasn't the problem. The defense statistically was ranked near the bottom in most categories. The coach made game time decisions based on analytics to go for it on fourth down regardless of field position. In most cases, it didn't work. The lack of running game made the offense predictable and easy to defend. Special teams was one of the bright spots thanks to Ryan Ficken. The first-round pick, Quentin Johnson, had an underwhelming, to say the least, rookie year. Wasn't able to pick up the slack after Mike Williams went down for the year. Ultimately, despite all the issues, Herbert always gave the Chargers a chance to win week in, week out. That's what I saw, and that's what everyone saw. But it's crazy. You the only not only, but you know what I mean, the greatest, the brightest spot on his team. But you come up short because you really ain't, y'all not clicking. The defense ain't there, running game, like you said, pretty obvious, blah, blah, blah. But I'm balling. But we coming up short. So now I'm going to say you're not a baller. Woo! Hide your wife, hide your kids. If you ever come at me like I ain't doing the damn thing because we ain't won, are you watching? Are you witnessing this greatness? Crazy. All right, let's talk about belief over ability. The belief over ability segment hit me pretty hard, much needed. Oh, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that's crazy because we've been coached. We've been conditioned to think first, you need talent. Then you got to work hard. And then you got to all of a sudden wait, and then it's going to work. And this guy basically said, well, you need to tap into what the higher power said. God said you need to believe in him, which means believe in yourself, which means believe in what you're doing. And then that will teach you how to do anything. Woo! And that's belief over ability. Yep. And knowledge. Like, this is why when I was growing up and everybody was complaining about where we were growing up, I was like, dog, do you believe we're going to get somewhere? You believe we're going to do it? Well, then you would stop. You could tell somebody doesn't believe because they don't figure it out. They just complain it out. I'm like, stop complaining, dog. Shut it. We could get something. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. Damn. We already at 4. And all we were at just now was 1 + 1. Like, add this stuff up, brother. Let it build. Y'all know how we finish every show. We finish with a Wileyism. Yeah. I'm just a commercial of positivity. So what? This ain't it. Thirsty bees trying to get A's. I had to come up with this one, right? Because ain't nothing worse than some thirsty bees trying to get A's. What do I mean by that? You ever see somebody fake? Like Acho's take on Herbert is a thirsty bee trying to get an A, right? That's what it is. You ever see somebody in a position unwarranted? You know, like, how you skip the line like this? And skip the line and was like, what? I qualified. Like, I did this. I ain't talking about inheritance because that ain't skipping the line. That means good looking out, daddy. Good looking out, mama. I'm talking about like somebody literally didn't study, didn't do nothing, and then was like, yo, I'm signing off on the group project with you. You're like, fool, you ain't qualified. You ain't put in on this. Hate that. I used to hate when I was young and gave in to that peer pressure. Like, all right, come on. I helped this fool get an A. He ain't do that. You witness it in your world. Thirsty bees trying to get A's, right? Boss come around all of a sudden. Hey, you were just talking to him. They like this, man. I'm like, why you ain't got the same respect for me, bro? I just say that too. I'm like, dog, why you perk up when he come around and when we talking? You like, man, ooh. I see that all the time. People that get real like, jovial and, oh my God, that was an amazing day. I was like, you weren't just saying that, dog. You a thirsty bee trying to get an A. That's who you are. So y'all can use this one, right? And just take notice of the unqualified that go unchecked a lot of times, the fakeness, the people who perk up because they see another rung on the ladder instead of just you sitting there or standing side by side with them, right? That's a bad place to be, where people ain't got their full energy for you, for y'all, but then they gonna do it because they see it's another step up. And living in LA, I see that all the time. Cats be like, oh, hey. And I crack up at this. You know, you trying to go somewhere, the manager or the bouncer or whatever it may be. Everyone on the side, move. He ain't smiled all day. Then all of a sudden, James Harden woke up. Hey, James, what's up, brother? And James ain't smiling because James, he don't need to smile. He's like, beard all over. All right, who you with, James? You good? I was like, damn. Kind of on-off switch is that? Like, it's perking up for the wrong reasons because he's a thirsty bee trying to get an A. So y'all can use this one, man. Make sure that y'all ain't the thirsty bees. That's all I care about. That we just continue to work and roll together. Because ain't nothing worse than seeing a thirsty bee trying to get an A. All right, that'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. Oh, Lamar Jackson lost because he's black and mobile. It's actually true. Oh man, what a complex to have to be like. Max and I used to laugh at this when they told black people, you know, the stereotype you eat fried chicken, even though white people eat way more fried chicken than black people because ain't enough black people to make that much money from fried chicken. So anyway, we used to laugh on the air. We used to say this, like, you know how insecure it makes you feel to go to Popeyes? And you're like, yeah, let me get a 9-piece. Everybody looking at you like, yeah, I know you want a 9-piece. This is some Dave Chappelle stuff. So man, make sure y'all catch Never Shut Up. All good, all love. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have an amazing day. I know I will. Ooh, my neck hurt. I can't do it today. Sound like I stepped on Doritos.
Stage a lot faster. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so inspired to be here, and thanks Shine Global for this award, to be recognized for doing the right thing, to be recognized for doing good things, and trying to inspire others for their own greatness. I'm just a kid from Compton who, at an early age, had to look inside to find my opportunities because on the outside, there were so many whispers and sometimes yells of, I couldn't make my dreams a reality. And thought that was very unfortunate, but I was thankful that I never internalized that chorus that was around me. I was a kid that understood that you had to be greater than your greatest excuse. And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons to have self-doubt. But I was able to develop my inner power, discover that inner power, and make sure that I showed the world exactly who I wanted to be. And it was really simple for me. It was to make my dreams a reality. There was nothing more to it. And as I now stand here, just a few miles from where I grew up, where that adversity still is strong. And as we see through these movies, that it's worldwide, not just in our locale. You see the suffering, you see the gangs, you see the drugs, you see the poverty. And there's always one common escape. It's that inner power, it's that ambition. It's having a voice that's louder than those surrounding voices. And I'm on a mission, a global mission, to make sure that that inner power inspires all to not only give, but to receive the blessings that come from giving. And I'm up here right now as a guy who's challenging everyone to give their 3 T's. And that's time, that's talent, and that's treasure. Human capital, financial, whatever it may be. Let's invest in each other because we all have to coexist here together. And as I look around and I have a foundation that really inspires these kids to become their greatest version of themselves and to look in the mirror to make sure that they're greater than their greatest excuse. It gives me my greatest passion. I was a kid who wanted to be a school teacher, but because of my height, weight, and speed, I became a football player. So I took that helicopter ride up as high as I could, but as I was ascending, I never forgot that I was once one of those fork-in-the-road kids who was shot at many times, who had to navigate around adversity every single day, who had to waste so much of his brain power just trying to get home every day. and so many experiences that sometimes you become desensitized to. But in reality, that is someone else's reality. So I'm so thankful to stand in front of all of you guys as an example of the kids that we're trying to affect, the underserved, the underprivileged, those who are told that their hardships are greater than who they are. But hopefully we can inspire them all to look inward, because everything they want out there is already in here. Appreciate you guys.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus, and to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we're giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.